Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you can see and hear me okay. I'm just going to bend down for the beginning of this part. Hi, Amelia. Can you just type into the comments next to the screen if I need to speak a little bit louder, or just to make sure that we've got a really good signal as well. You can see, because this is our last celebration assembly of this year, we're doing it in a very special fashion. I've got the big screen behind me, and there's going to be a lot of really good messages with regards to next year as well. Let me see who we've got. So we've got Amelia, we've got Evie Grace. Hello from the McQueenie bunch. Good afternoon, guys. I hope you've had a lovely week. As always, while we wait for others, why don't you put in the comments, tell me a little bit about how your week has gone. A little bit of rain today, but we haven't had that all week. That's been nice. What have you been doing this week? What have you enjoyed learning about? Have you visited anywhere special? Have you seen anyone special? Because you can start seeing a few more people now as well, can't you? Let me see. We've got Joshua. Good afternoon. We've got Jacob, Adam, Emily, Ollie, and Bex. As always, guys, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mrs. Watson, Aidan, Oliver, and Isaac. Good afternoon, boys. Sophie, Emily, Matthew, and Miss Miller. Good afternoon, Mrs. Slinger. Good afternoon to Miss Tumulty. Good afternoon to Mrs. Bentley. To Miss Bentley, good afternoon to Jay. Fantastic. Just give it a minute or so. In the comment section, what have you been up to? What have you been learning? Rodiat and Rocky back, good afternoon. You've moved house this week. Of course you have. Of course you have. How have you found it? Are you enjoying the new house, Jenna? Do let me know. Good afternoon from Jake, Mom and Ben, Mrs. Charlton, and Mrs. Jones, who can probably hear double sound because they're just in that room there, because I've stolen the reception. There she's waving. I've stolen the reception classroom, so they're just there through the glass and here, so they can probably hear me, and then about 3 seconds later hear me again. What a lot of fun. Roderick, good afternoon. Jay, good afternoon. You struggled to get the schoolwork done. It's been a busy week. Busy for the right reasons. Good busy. Don't worry too much about it. We're nearly at the summer now, Emma. It's been fantastic up to now. We've been learning about chocolate, and you loved it. Wonderful. Jacob's been back at school, of course he has. And let me say, Louise, his interview with BBC Radio Tees the other day was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And our trust, I have a head teachers call 3 times a week on an evening with all of the head teachers and all of the executive committee from our trust. And they were all talking about Jacob the other night. They said he was absolutely amazing. So please pass on my thanks and well done. My favourite part of it was when, and I've only been told this by the girls in the office, was when they asked him if he was going to be listening to the interview later. And he said, no, probably not, because I'll be having my tea. That was excellent. Well done, Jacob. I do like a little bit of humour. Right. I'm going to get started. As always, the numbers will go up throughout, but I know that lots of people do like to watch this on record and a little bit later. I have my trusty piece of paper, so I can't go wrong for our stars of the week. I don't have Tim because I'm on the floor at the minute, kneeling a little bit, and I'm not sure how I could get him to stand up. So he's just having a nap in my office. And I also don't have our sound effects. But that's okay. Don't worry. There's going to be more than enough to keep people busy. So I'm going to stand up next to the screen, show you how big this is. A massive screen, isn't it? Good afternoon, Mr. Hall. Hope you're good. And Sophia, good afternoon, sweetheart. So I'm going to get started with our stars of the week. And I'm going to start as always. Well, not as always, because there was 1 week I did different. I'm going to start as usual then with nursery. So we have a young lady who has developed her confidence and is really beginning to talk to others in nursery. The social side of things is so, so important. And we've got lots of amazing plans for September after we know many of our children might not have been at school for a while. But this young lady's not going to need too much. And it is, ta-da, Hallie McQueenie. Well done, Hallie. Good to see that you are watching, because your mum told me in the comments. So you are our nursery star of the week. Well done. And a huge, huge congratulations. This is your certificate, and it will be sent to you really, really soon via Marvelous Me. I'm so ahead of the game today. It's amazing. So these have been ready for hours. Moving on to reception A, and we have a young man who has been putting 100% effort into all of his learning activities. Well done to Ezekiel. Well done, Ezekiel. You are a superstar, and you certainly are the star of this week. 100% effort into everything. Well done, Ezekiel. Your certificate, which is right here. Look at the size of that certificate. Is right here. Will be on Seesaw really soon after this video. Well done. Well done, Hallie, and well done to Ezekiel. Reception B. For always being kind and helpful as a friend. I love that. And what a really, really important skill. You'll have seen outside of our school that we have Tim's traits up on the wall. And although one of them isn't specifically about being kind and helpful, it is absolutely part of what Tim does and absolutely part of what we want everyone in our school to be doing. And I always mention at the end of my videos as well, don't I? So amazing to see this young lady always being kind and helpful to friends. In reception B, Tim and Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Cooper think that Lily Mae Kidson is star of the week. Well done, Lily Mae. It's your huge certificate. It might not be that big when you get it on Seesaw later, but it is just as amazing. Well done to you. So moving from the early years into Key Stage 1, and we have Year 1, Miss Naisbitt's class, for a fantastic attitude since returning to school and an excellent retelling of Meerkat Male. I've been seeing some amazing work on Meerkat Male this week, but this young lady in particular has been a superstar, and it is Riley McLaren. I said young lady. Sorry, Riley. I've skipped one on me, so you can't see that. I'm going to come back to you, Riley, because you deserve a bigger announcement than that. But there we go. It's Lacey Mae Clark. Well done, Lacey Mae. What I've done is I've put them one way on the sheet and a different way on the slides. There you go. That's Friday. Mistakes is another thing that Tim likes to make. So there you go. That's how I get out of that one. But well done, Lacey Mae. You are a superstar. And of course, so too, you heard and you shouldn't have, but there you go. So too is Riley McLaren, because you have also shown excellent effort working independently to write your story on Meerkat Male as well. See, you can see how I got confused because they were both about Meerkat Male. So well done to Riley, a big, huge certificate coming your way. Well done to Lacey Mae, a big, huge certificate coming your way as well. Well done, superstars. Moving on to, did it again. Year 2, for consistently completing work at home and always putting 100% effort into everything he does. Mrs. Dixon and Tim have chosen, you've seen it, didn't you? Roderick. Well done, Roderick. You are an absolute superstar, and I absolutely agree with this. Consistency, 100%, always putting effort in. You have been a superstar, much like you always are in school. Your certificate will be on Seesaw very, very soon. So we have Roderick, we've got Riley, we've got Lacey Mae Clark, we've got Lily Mae Kidson, we've got Ezekiel, and we've got Hallie so far. A fantastic well done to all of you. Moving into phase 2 and Mrs. Brown's year 3 class, we have another young man, this time for his hard work, dedication, and resilience throughout all of his home learning. And I remember way back when lockdown first started, talking to this young man about his learning, and to see that enthusiasm and that dedication, hard work is still going is absolutely amazing. So who is it, I hear you ask? Well, Mrs. Brown and Tim have chosen Dante Nolden. Well done, Dante, you superstar. And again, as last week with a few children, not the first time, you have been our star of the week. Well done, you little superstar. Some amazing words in there. Working hard throughout your learning. Dedication, resilience, amazing. Next, we've got year 3, 4, Mr. Slinger's class. For the remarkable effort she's put into home learning throughout lockdown, some of the work this young lady's produced has been absolutely excellent. Who is that young lady, you say? Well, Mr. Slinger and Tim have chosen Amelia. Well done, Amelia. Your work right from the beginning of lockdown to now, as I've just said, has been wonderful. Videos, posters, maths, writing, stuff on geography and history. Absolutely brilliant. And a massive thank you and well done to everyone and anyone who's been supporting Amelia with her learning too. Well done, Amelia. Absolutely brilliant. So our final phase 2 class. and Miss Tumulty's Year 4 class. We have a young man who has shown consistent dedication and commitment to all of his home learning. And that person is Harley Donnelly. Well done, Harley. Fantastic to see your name up there on the huge screen, and that huge certificate will be coming to you, as it will be with Amelia, Dante, Roderick, Riley, Lacey May, Lily May, and Ezekiel on Seesaw very, very soon. Well done, Harley. And that wraps up our Superstar Learner Star of the Week in Phase 2. We've had, let's say them again, Harley, Amelia, Dante, Roderick, Riley, Lacey May, Lily May, Ezekiel, and Hallie in nursery. Our final classes in Phase 3. I'm going to start with our Year 5 class. And for great engagement with learning this week, oh, I'm going to stand here and just check this. Yeah, I'm all good. I didn't need to check it, but there you go. For great engagement with learning tasks all this week, this young man's just come back to school. Fantastic to see him thriving already in his Year 5 class. Who is it, you ask? Well, it's Ryan Mason Robinson. Well done, Ryan. If you're watching or when you're watching and listening, you are a Superstar Star of the Week. Great to see your name on there. Your certificate will be on Seesaw very, very soon. For Mr. Hall's Year 5-6 class, for Timtastic, long-term commitment to all, and that's in capitals as well, all aspects of distance learning. Tim and Mr. Hall have chosen as their Star of the Week, Kingsley. Well done, Kingsley. You, again, as many of the others, if not all, have been a superstar since day one. Your work has never wavered. The quality, the dedication, enthusiasm. What a learning superstar you are, and much deserved of the Star of the Week certificate again. That will be on Seesaw for you very, very soon. One more Star of the Week to go, and that is in Mr. Watson's Year 6 class. And we have someone who has produced some absolutely fantastic portraits at home. Not only that, I've seen them on social media being an absolute superstar in supporting their siblings at home as well. I'll give you a little bit of a clue, some of you Year 6s that are watching. So 4 fantastic portraits produced at home, and I'm going to add a little bit that's not on here about amazing support of siblings learning at home. The Year 6 Star of the Week is Diana. Well done, Diana. Your support of Oracle has been absolutely amazing, and say thank you and well done to Winner as well, because he's been brilliant in supporting that as well, and so too has Olivia. And of course, Mum and Dad, your family look absolutely wicked on social media. And look like they're really enjoying learning, which is so, so nice to see. That is it for Star of the Week. This is our last celebration assembly, so the last time that I will be going through the Stars of the Week for this academic year. A huge well done to Diana, to Kingsley, Ryan, Harley, Amelia, Dante, Roderick, Riley, Lacey May, Lily May, Ezekiel, and Hallie. Hallie, as I said before, your certificate will be coming to you via Marvellous Me. Everybody else, look out on Seesaw really, really shortly, because your certificate will be on there. When I sent out the link for the video today, I did mention about a number of updates and information that I wanted to talk about. But I want to start by just focusing on remote learning still. There are 3 pictures on there. One, which is a cartoony picture, which just shows virtual learning. We've got a picture of Seesaw that the light's hitting off a little bit. And this is a screenshot of the first ever YouTube video. Now, this was done by me over 3.5 months ago. You can't see it that well because of the light, but I'm sat in the back room in my house, and I am just about to start telling you about the plans for our remote learning offer. So it's Friday the 20th of March, your last day here in school, and Monday the 23rd of March was your first day of remote learning. This was Sunday the 22nd. So a long, long time ago when that was put together, but even more surprising and mind-bending than that, that number underneath, 642, is the number of YouTube videos that we have produced as a school to help support your learning and your safe return school. So this video that I'm recording right now is our 640-second video, and it's not going to be our last. We've still got 1 week, and we've still got a bunch of reports to put out in video format, which I'm going to talk about. So that number is going to go significantly higher. So 642 videos produced by our staff on YouTube, not all together, because there's been lots of other videos like our lockdown videos and small tutorial videos on Seesaw. Speaking of Seesaw, that number under there, 25,000, that is the number that if we get about 100 more interactions, we will have reached 25,000 interactions between teacher and pupil on Seesaw since this first video was made over here. How absolutely amazing is that? 25,000 times teachers and children have been talking about learning. Amazing teachers and amazing children and families who have been so involved, so dedicated, so enthused about learning, despite everything that we've been through in the last few months. And there's one more statistic on here. This number down here, 70%. So we've been recording every single little bit of engagement of learning since the very first day back in the middle of March, or the last week or so of March. And we have an average figure of 70% of engagement. So that means somewhere around 185 children each week regularly engaging with our learning. And that number, having spoken to a lot of schools and a lot of leaders over the last few weeks, is incredibly high. And I cannot thank you as children and families who are watching, and also the staff here at North Ormsby enough, because this is absolutely, and has been absolutely, remarkable. This is the last Celebration Assembly. It's also the last time that you will see a daily YouTube video. And next week, you will still get a YouTube video. It will still be daily as well, so I've probably used the wrong expression there, but it won't be the type that you're used to where your teacher lays out your 4 or 5 tasks for the day. It is the Nopper Showstopper week next week, and each day there will be a type of task that everybody in the school is doing, but there will be a video from your phase, so it might not be your teacher, but from your phase explaining to you how they want you to do it, taking into consideration your age and your ability and your circumstance. So look out for that, because it's going to be an amazing final week. Just thinking about all of those interactions between our children, our families and community, and of course the school. And I've just put some pictures up of some of the ways that we've been able to achieve what I think has been excellent communication, both from us and to us as well. I mentioned all of those YouTube videos before that I've said aren't going to stop either. Our YouTube channel has always been there, but I think we've really found the niche of how to use it to the best of its ability. Marvelous Me, we've had for years here in school. We're going to continue to use that to send out all of our awards and celebration and any reminder messages as well. But remember, that's mainly going to be used for learning. So the majority of things that you see on Marvelous Me will be about learning. And the whole idea of Marvelous Me is to stimulate really good conversation between you and your child. Our Facebook and our Twitter accounts have been amazing for us for a number of years now, particularly Twitter. And we've been using Facebook a lot in the last 18 months or so. And thank you to all of you nursery children and families in particular who've been sending your work using that medium, because of course you haven't had a Seesaw account. And thank you to everyone else who has been using Seesaw. This is something we've been using in school for about 4 or 5 years now. We're very much an expert school on Seesaw, and we have Seesaw ambassadors here at North Ormsby Primary Academy. But great to see how your skills, and I'm talking about not just children, but also parents and families, great to see how your skills have really come along in the last few months in terms of using Seesaw. And we absolutely want to use that as a platform, pardon the pun, for the future in terms of how we share learning with you outside of the school day. And of course, your iPads as well. We're very, very proud of the fact that we've been able to offer every child in our school an iPad. You may have seen lots in the news about children not being able to access learning because they don't have the technology and they don't have internet access. Well, we're a fantastic school. We didn't see this coming, but we've always had a really dedicated policy towards using technology. And we were ready and we were set to go for something like this. But a huge thank you to you as well for buying into that strategy and doing everything that you've done, because just sending the iPad alone isn't enough. You've had to learn how to use it. You've had to become experts at home as well. So absolutely amazing to see how we've used lots of tools like this. And they aren't the only tools. Lots of really good text messaging, and of course still lots of really good video conversations and face-to-face conversations as well. But great to see how we've connected over these 3 months. I'm going to move on now and talk about our summer provision. So a week today, we will be finishing for the summer holidays, but we do not want, and I don't think you want, learning to stop. Of course, we won't be around to do daily videos and to check in and give feedback every day until we come back in September. But we do want to leave in the peace of mind that there is something of high quality that you have to be able to work on. And because of that, we have devised Virtually Nopper. Just give me a second. I'm going to click this image. I'm still here. We've devised Virtually Nopper. Virtually Nopper is another website. So we've got quite a few websites now, but we know that each one of them has a sole purpose and each one of them is of the highest quality. And that's for us what is the most important. Mrs. Charlton said to me before that the internet down here was absolutely rubbish. And I said, no, it's fine. I'm live. It's going to be cool. Now I know what she was talking about. While it's loading up, here we go. Let me just talk you through what it's all about. It's called Virtually Nopper because we want it to be like virtually being here. Of course, the biggest difference is there's not that face-to-face interaction. So we've tried our best, especially with regard to using video and other high-quality resources, to make it as close to that as we can. Along the top, you'll see a load of tabs here, one of which is called Learning Links. Now, these are the learning links that have been on our website for a number of months now. You've got Tim's Active Zone, Tim's Art Zone, Tim's English Zone, History, Maths, Music, Science, and Tech. There's a load of stuff on there that children can be accessing as and when they want, and it's really open in terms of what it is that they want to do. Now, that's good and bad. Good because it gives children free rein and the ability to experiment, but bad because it doesn't really hone in on what they need to be taught in terms of the national curriculum. And of course, all of our concerns at the moment are perhaps around the amount of learning that children might have lost over the last few months. So what we've done, and I'm going to start by using Year 5 as an example, is we have built 2 classrooms for each year group. This is Year 5 English, and you can see there's a lovely image there of one of our Year 5 classrooms. You've got the screen here, got one of our whiteboards, MC Grammar's up in the corner, there's something on the screen, there's our iPad trolley. It's not just a really nice image though. Each one of those things in the classroom is an interactive link. So for MC Grammar, if I want to watch MC Grammar's videos, I can just tap MC Grammar's face and it'll take me, if you have really good internet, oh, there we go, it'll take me straight to MC Grammar's website. And on MC Grammar's website, he's got some really cool songs. Those of you that remember the concert that he did way back when will remember some of these songs, but songs that he has made, written and produced himself to help children remember some of the most complicated terminology in English. Year 5s have to work on relative clauses. That's what this bit says. So if you click on relative clauses, it will take you to a page that is all about learning about relative clauses. It starts by showing you what the national curriculum says. So this is everything for spelling, punctuation, and grammar for Year 5. The yellow bit is the bit that's specific to this page, to relative clauses. I mentioned about the teacher not being there. Because of that, what we've done is we've found 4 of what we think are the best videos on the internet to help children in their understanding. You can see MC Grammar shows up again, this time not one of his songs, but one of the lessons that he's delivered during lockdown. We've got something from BBC, something from the Khan Academy, and then a fantastic video from a website called Defining English. And all of those videos talk about Year 5 relative clauses. So they're very specific to what Year 5s need to learn. Once the children have watched those videos and understood the concept, then they can start to practice. Now, this is what happens in the classroom. We talk to them about learning, we gather ideas, they get a chance to ask questions, and we will answer those questions. They'll talk to one another. But then ultimately there comes a time where they practice the new skill that they're learning about. And that's what this area is for. There's something from Oxford Owl there. You press that, it'll take you to a website. And then there's a whole host of worksheets from some of our favorite providers like Twinkle, Classroom Secrets, White Rose when we get to maths as well. So the whole host, including a PowerPoint there as well, on working on relative clauses to practice. Now, if they still need a little bit more help, they can go straight back to the videos and they can watch again for understanding. Now, we don't always have that time in the classroom. That's one of the really, really critical parts of having a platform like this. If they do practice and they are confident, they can move on to what we call working deeper. Sometimes this is called reasoning or application. So for each part of the classroom, there is a working deeper element. So those children who get the concept, they do really well in the practice. Here's an opportunity for them to go even further with their learning. Once they've done that, there is a final section on every one of these pages, which is called More Practice and Assessment. There's also in between that on some pages, depending on the objective and the strand, a writing challenge. But we know how tough that's been for children working away from school. So it's not all over the Virtually Nopper website, only in specific places. But as I was saying, there is a More Practice and Assessment area. So each one of these links takes the children to somewhere else to have even more practice. You might recognize the bottom two, Bite Size, who have produced daily lessons since lockdown for school children, and of course the Oak National Academy. Now they're not just additional practice, they are both lessons, full lessons of watching a video, having a go, and then marking together with the teachers who are delivering those lessons. We've got the online Seneca portal for Key Stage 2 children. They should have their login details. If not, check with their children. IXL needs no login. They just click and it'll take them straight to a mini test on relative clauses, and the same for spag.com. We're going to open that up fully. So when you tap on there, you can look for the test that says relative clauses and you can test yourself. The best thing about all of this, you can do it as many times as you like. You can watch those videos as much as you like. You can do the worksheets as much as you like. And you can practice as much as you like. Let me change gears and go to year 3, show you a different year group. So in year 3, again, there's the English classroom. This time, headings and subheadings. We've got all of our phonics phases because we know some children still need that phonics push. We've got word families, direct speech. You see MC grammar pops up again. My friend wouldn't be very happy with me if it wasn't on every classroom. But underneath the English classroom for every year group is a maths classroom as well. There's our lovely iPad trolley again. This one's even got a window. Right? Addition, subtraction. We've got a clock for time, angles, base 10. Have a little look around the classroom. Some really nice little hidden gems. So there's a little piggy bank here. If you press the piggy bank, of course, it takes you to a page that's called Exploring Money. So again, there's the national curriculum objective. Underneath, it's been split up into just recognizing the value of coins and then adding coins together. I'll show you one more page so you can see what maths looks like. So in maths, we've got, again, videos to watch to help children in their understanding. They can rewind, they can pause, they can check in with you to see if there's anything that you can help them with. Another one from Bite Size. Then we've got practice, but in maths, we call that becoming fluent. So we've got full PowerPoints and keynotes there, full of questions that the children are used to using inside the classroom as well on how to practice and become fluent in exploring money. And then we've got working deeper. In maths, we call that reasoning, as I mentioned before. Again, full set of PowerPoint or keynote slides on reasoning, some very tricky questions in there. And we've also got in maths, a little bit different to English, we've got Tim's challenges. So we have an extra element of stretch and challenge for those children who really want that final push. And again, another full set of slides with a load of questions in there that are really, really sophisticated and high in terms of challenge. And finally, just as with the English pages, we've also got more practice and assessment. A little assessment there in top marks and some more practice via SumDog. Again, if there are any login details the children are unfamiliar with, please do get in touch. And just to finish off with Virtually Nopper, just go home, close these ones down. We haven't stopped at year 1 or year 6. There are classrooms here for reception as well. And of course, you would imagine it's full of video. It's full of really fun games. But it's also full of videos that we've made specifically as teachers. So the EYFS team, Mrs. Charlton, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Watson, etc., have been putting some absolutely amazing resources together to make this platform probably one of the best reception platforms going. You can see they're working that hard. This part is actually still under construction. That will absolutely be ready for you when you break up next week. The maths one, however, is ready to go. Number line, abacus for number. We've got patterns of pineapples there for patterns. We've even got Tim stood on a stool because when you tap him, you learn about position. So that's the biggest part of what we are wanting to do for your learning over the summer holidays. There is a second element to your learning over the summer holidays. Our trust, who have been one of the most proactive trusts in terms of providing online learning, they're also putting together 10 lessons that cover what they think, what we think are the 5 most important objectives for English and for maths. And they're doing that in a form of a live or a pre-recorded lesson with tasks and the ability to mark afterwards for year 1 all the way up to year 10. Obviously, we don't have a year 11 after next week. So as well as Virtually Nopper, there will also be this offer from the Trust as well. 10 lessons on the 5 most important objectives. That's not all. That's very much about learning, but we know that some of our children, if not many of our children, are going to need support with regards to transition. I'm going to move on to transition in a second, but for our reception children, or children rather going into reception, there is a part on our Nopper Parents Academy now that is specifically for children moving into reception. Again, some lovely videos, amazing videos, pictures, text, and also our staff's voice as well, that the children can watch. It's all very child-friendly and lots of information for parents as well. And there's also the same being produced for new children to nursery, because we have some children who are coming into nursery for the first time. So on the Parents Academy, which is up here, Parents Academy, and then Nopper Transition up the top there, that's where you can find those resources if you have a child who is transitioning into reception for the first time. And they can use this and Virtually Nopper to help with that as the summer goes on. Just to finish on all of this online platform stuff then, so this is, you might recognize our normal website. And what I've done recently is with these 5 boxes, is I've put the most important parts of our website right at the front, right at the top, so they are easily accessible for you all. Tim's Teaching Tools, which is really for us, but that's open. Feel free to have a look at that if you want. It's just a bunch of resources that we share with one another and also with other schools. The Parents Academy is one I've just been speaking about. If you've never been on the Parents Academy before, please do start using it. There's a plethora of amazing resources on there, all about learning what to do if you're worried about your child, bedtime routines, SEND needs, even debt management. There's loads of really good stuff, and we work with some excellent partners to keep the information on there really fresh. Our YouTube channel, of course, which you're really used to using, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And then we've got our Nopper Worry Box, which I'm going to come back to, and this is where you'll find Virtually Nopper. Okay, so you're only going to be able to access Virtually Nopper from that button there. The Nopper Worry Box, touch wood, I haven't had anything posted in there in the entirety of lockdown. Now, I think that's a real success because of the communication that we've had, but I also want to bring it to your attention because that will always be manned by me and some other staff, even over the summer holidays. So children, parents, if you ever have anything you're worried about and you need some support, please think about using the likes of the NSPCC. If it's an e-safety concern you've got, think about using CUP. But if it's something you think school needs to know, please do use the Nopper Worry Box. It's one click. It's one click when it's an internet site, and it takes you straight to a little form. You don't even have to tell us your name. Just tell us what you're worried about and what you want school to do, and someone will be getting that no matter what day it is. Changing gears a little bit now. We have had many iPads handed back. Thank you very much. I just want to make sure that there's clarity on the iPads. They are absolutely still there for you to use over the summer. However, as we're changing with regards to our offer, so there won't be the daily videos, there won't be the offer of a load of apps to use, making videos, presentations, researching this, that, and the other, because it's all online and on Virtually Nopper and our Trust website. What we're saying is, if you have a device at home where you can access those platforms and you would prefer to hand your iPad back in, then please do. I would absolutely encourage that as well, so that we can get the iPads back in. We can start to get them wiped, get all of their memory free and cleaned, get them wiped physically as well, keep them clean in terms of hygiene, so that they're ready for when the children return in September. So if you've got a device at home that you can access Virtually Nopper and the other support from, and you don't need your iPad, please hand it in. If you can't come into school because you're shielding or for any number of other reasons, give us a call and we'll more than happily come and collect it for you. If you haven't got another device, you keep your iPad, continue to look after it, and then we'll talk to you in September about how it comes back to school. Okay. Finishing off with a few more messages. This one is all about reports. For those of you that have been tuning in every week to our assemblies, your child will not be getting a paper report. There's no point in a paper report because we can't really talk about progress. They haven't done any SATs. They haven't done any phonics checks. So what we want to do is something way more personal, way more intimate, and we're going to do a video for each child in our school from their teacher. They are already done. The staff have worked incredibly hard to get to the point that we are at. So I'm going to have a look at those over the weekend and early next week, and I will be sending them to you via a YouTube link, but it will be a hidden video, so nobody can watch it. It can't be searched for. Only the person who has the link will be able to see the video, and you will have access to that video for the rest of time. It won't ever fall in the bin. It won't ever get wet. It won't ever blow away in the wind. It will be there forever, because this has truly been an unforgettable year, and we want to recognize that in the way that we do things with you as well. Classes for 2020 and 21. So by now, you would all have spent some time with your new teachers. We normally do a transition day in the second to last week, and we will probably have had some conversations where you needed to maybe need that information a little bit earlier. That hasn't been able to happen, of course, but not to worry. Our plan is for when the children come back in September, they will spend some time in the same classes that they have been in prior to lockdown. We want to make sure that they're confident about coming back to school. They have an opportunity for closure with their friends and their teachers, and they come back after what could be a really, really long time away from school to an environment they remember and they are comfortable with. So for the first few days, possibly weeks, we've still got to finalize these important details, but for the first few days or so, and possibly weeks, as I said, children will stay in the classes that they were in before lockdown. We'll come up with a point in time where we think that needs to change. We'll do everything that we need to get that changed, with possibly a PD day as well, so we can get furniture and everything else moved. We want to make sure that the transition back to school for every single child is as smooth and as comfortable as possible. That move to a new class obviously could come with a new physical classroom and a new teacher. So next week, I will be telling you what and where your child will be going, who's going to be their new teacher and which classroom they will be situated in. But remember, it won't be straight away after the 6 weeks holidays. There will be some transition time. So look out for that information coming. And with that, I just want to say another absolutely huge thank you and well done to everybody that's watching, to everyone that's not watching as well. Please pass the message on to them, and to all of the staff and families and children who have triangulated absolutely amazingly over what's been probably the toughest challenge in education in the past century. This poem will be here forever and live on in our memory as our token gesture to this time. And of course, it's been painted on our wall and our yard so that it stays there as a mural forever. And this is our poem. School, community, children, parents, PCAB. This is for everyone who has worked really diligently together over, as I was saying before, a really challenging time. So I just want to finish by saying, yet again, thank you for absolutely everything. This is our last celebration assembly. I may well speak to you again before we break next week. We'll see how the week goes on. But if I don't get a chance to speak to you again, thank you. Please, please keep looking after yourselves. Keep looking after each other. And always, always choose kindness. Thank you very much. And I'll speak to you all again really, really soon. Bye for now.